Hi! Welcome to Mad Max. We're doing all of the things in Reek Hills. If you need to jump to something specific, check the description. The numbers correspond to the descriptions below. Blue scavenging locations, yellow scarecrows, green snipers, white are camps. Check the eye on the top right for access to playlists and other good stuff too, but without further ado, let's crack on. So first up, Scarecrow number 1, pretty straightforward, wide in the open. On the way I saw some wanderers, always worth stopping for them to give them water. One of the challenges is to feed 5 of them. Well, I guess not feed, but what's the opposite of what's feed for liquid? Anyway, to give them water. Next up, a scavenging location, this one kind of in the open as well. Just follow this little road on the map around to it, rather than the bit of road that's closest on the mini-map, if that makes sense. Sneak through here, and then you're going to find one bit of scrap, I think in a Jimmy box, no, just wide in the open there, and another one through this bit here with a dude there, and I think a couple of other guys maybe, but there's a history relic. There's some water as well. Look, it's a statue with a scarf and some flowers. Every year the same, that little scarf and the flowers. There's the water, there's a shiv, some ammo, and by the chair is the second piece of scrap. I rolled down here rather than running all the way back, which seemed tedious. Fell but didn't lose much health, and then just flared my way out. Scavenging location number 2. These two are a little bit tricky, so we're going to go for the closest one first. I went to the point on the map following the road, but that wasn't really useful, so went around to the north, basically followed this road here, and then around and around, up onto the north. And again, there's a little bit of road on the mini-map here. If you follow that, you'll get to here. Watch for the man traps. I thought maybe I could shoot them, but no. I'm not sure. It would be nice if there was something to set them off, because I always seem to walk into all of them. There's a pretty monster fight there. That's a shield guy, there's an exploding guy, and I think a handful of other dudes. Maybe a sniper lurking around too. So watch for him, or them, I should say. There's some ammo there. Head up these steps, or stairs. There's a Jimmy box there with the first scrap in it. History relic on the way out there on the left. An attempt at rules for C Street Militia. Jovi got final say. We don't kill chicks. No rape by the guys or chicks. Well, that's good rules, Jovi. Bring loot to Jovi or lieutenants. Loot to split 60-40. I mean, he seems like a pretty generous leader, honestly. There is the final scrap there out on that ledge. That's 2 scrap and 1 history relic for that location. Here's the sniper. You can kind of trick jump your way up to him if you want, but equally you can just run away and leave him. He's not going to do much from there, right? Or long shot him from down below, unless you really need the ammo. You don't have to trick jump your way up. On the way out, watch for bear traps, or man traps, or whatever. I completely forgot and ran into a bunch of them. Lucky there's some water there. Scavenging location number 3. This one, just follow the road down, wide in the open, and not in there, which they normally are. Down here, scrap on the left, and I think Jimmy box up here on the right with a history relic. No, project part with scrap. Completely lying. Maggot farm number 1 or 2, I forget. We're going to get another maggot farm piece from that camp that's already done on the right. But in the meantime, let's get scavenging location number 4, and then we'll do a death race. This one again, just follow the road, and then it's up these stairs in this thing in the middle. 1 scrap, 2 scrap either side, one's in a Jimmy box. Couldn't be much easier. Then off to the death race, death run. I'm still not sure why they call them death run as opposed to death race. It's got to be a copyright thing. Side blender or metal grinder were available to me. I went with the side blender because, yeah, I don't know. I just did. This one not too bad. Basically, follow the red line until you get past that first tunnel, and then head to the right here. I think is a quicker way. I can't be sure. I tried both ways. This one was fractionally quicker, but both times I kind of got beaten up a bit. The start, getting kind of nudged around at the start always makes for a tough, actual, fair analysis of the situation. But then follow the red lines all the way to the finish. Try and stay on them, because as soon as you get off them, you lose a lot of speed. And watch for this aggressive 2 sets of turns at the end. You might want to brake a little bit here, especially for this one. Otherwise it's easy to miss that finish line and just be stuck against the wall and not make it in time. But there we are, relatively straightforward, just don't get wrapped up in traffic like most of them. Then off to one of Jeet's armory things for Gutgash. Really surprisingly pleasing splash of colour here. But yeah, mark the location, just walk up to it, hold A. That's done. There's a sniper there, but he's not actually a sniper. I haven't noticed him yet, but we're heading over to this scavenging location, which is just in a little boat here, and you'll notice I get shot while I'm trying to get the loot. And you can see the sniper up there at the top of the screen. So got the long shot, picked him off, and then got a bit confused and looked on the map to try and work out why my sniper record hadn't updated. But it's just, on this map, on this map there's just lots of snipers. Yeah, just dotted around who don't actually count as snipers because I guess they're not in towers, presumably. Around to this one, drive around the road until you see that arrow, then you can sneak through here. Around the back here, that gave me a shock, the shadow. I was like, oh god, what's happening? There's the history relic. Dude, you better come up. Yeah? I can't talk at all. Anyway, and then round the front, which I missed on the way in, Jimmy box, and there's the scrap. There. Now down to this scavenging location. What are we up to? Number 7. I went up here because go high or go home. That's not a saying, but let's pretend it is. The scrap's actually underneath it, next to some food. There's the food just in front of the car there. Maggots, delicious. With number 7 locked down, let's roll around to number 8. Pretty straightforward drive. I just straight lined it here, and the only reason I'm showing you this drive is because it doesn't exactly get me there the way I might want. So I dropped in from on top. If you want to get there on your own, I guess follow the road and make your way round that way. I don't know. But there's the first scrap there. There's some food you'll see there, and the other scrap is just the other side of that food, although it took me a very long time to find it. There's the food, there's the scrap. I don't know why it took so long. It just did. Up to Scarecrow number 2. Is it only number 2 already? This one's kind of wide in the open. It's a fortified Scarecrow, so I think you're going to need like harpoon level 4 or 5 unless you want to crash into it, but since it's in the open, that's fine. There's a sniper right nearby. That one's in a tower, so it does count as one off the map, and threat will be reduced. Lured. And you can make your way up by following the little road around if you want to pull down the tower, which I always have to do. Swinging north to number 9, and then we're going to head east to number 10. I kind of took a bit of an esoteric route, but dropped down here. Your easiest way is probably to drive in from the convoy route, to be honest. But there's one scrap there, and then just around the other side there's a Jimmy box with the second scrap in it. There. Some food too if you need it, but then driving out you'll see this just takes you to the road here. So come in from the south if you can't come in from on top, and by on top I don't mean north. I don't know what that marker was doing all the way up there. I watched myself just spend about 10 minutes clicking different things on the map. I can't remember what was going through my head. But anyway, get here, there's a massive fight, and the reward is just a couple of bits of scrap. Maybe even just one. Yeah, and it's just inside the door. Yeah, just one bit of scrap for a pretty significant fight. But again, surprising splash of different colour, which I quite enjoyed. Scavenging location number 11. Not in this plain wing, so try not to drive into that, but in there, history relic. Remember when we used water, when we voluntarily polluted water, or something as Max's pithy comment. God damn Max. Honestly, how the voice actor doing this stuff didn't just go, really, I'm reading that, wouldn't it be better if I said this, and actually got on with it, is just sad. Those one-liners. Anyway, off to the camp. This is actually a pretty rough camp. I died here a couple of times. But from the outside you can get that sniper. On the playthrough that I actually picked up here, I shot the support on that sniper tower so it came crashing down, but you'll see I knock it down on this one. I alerted the camp here, which wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done. You'll see. So take down those Molotov towers, if as and when you can. I got bothered by buggies. Bothered by buggies there, and then turn around to deal with those Molotov towers there. So, but then for some reason, unless you specifically aim, it'll always go for the car, which is super annoying. Anyway, killed him, and then the only reason I'm showing you all this is just how I dealt with them, which wasn't the most elegant way. Took this buggy out in the end to knock that Molotov tower down. But then headed up here to get the snipers who are on platforms. Your best bet's probably just to harpoon them off, to be honest, rather than running around like that and dealing with them. You've probably got an armory project unlocked by now at Jeet's. Hopefully you have. So you can just use sniper ammo on the camp and then fast travel afterwards to refuel the refill your ammo supplies. Anyway, driving up here, there's the sniper tower. You might want to spike that down because again, there's a challenge for getting 10 of them, I think. And then in here, I don't know why I didn't turn the valve, but instead chose to try and shoot that. Just idiotic move. Yeah, so just go in there and turn the valve. But anyway, on the left is a sneaky way up, which you might want to take. Well, which you definitely want to take, because there's some scrap up here that you can't otherwise get. So head up to the left and around. There we are. And then along here, there's some scrap right there with a ladder you can kick down. And then a war crier there that you can shoot from a range. So grab that scrap, kick the ladder down, and head down and be prepared. I've died on this fight pretty much every time I've been here. On this playthrough, coming through with only a fraction of health, I mean, was not at all a smart move. But I came back and yeah, did it again, which is why the ladder's up, because I just came in through the front entrance having got that scrap and auto-saved. But the second scrap is right there by the ladder. There's some food there. There's another Jimmy box, well not another Jimmy box, another loot in a Jimmy box next to that fuel tank, which you want to grab to get the first 2 transfer tanks, which are there. So blow them and then pick up your weapon if you like, and grab the fuel and come around here to blow this door up. Once you've done that, head through there. There's a fight with a boomer, and also watch for the man traps. Again, lots of man traps on this zone. But yeah, watch for the boomer and these jumpy guys. This is another very easy place to die. I'd recommend going in and dealing with the boomer first. Get him down quickly, and then you can use his boomsticks to spike these little buggers. Like that. So deal with all of them as you must. That's where the boomer was, and just behind the bath where he stood there is scrap number 4. Over the other side, scrap number 5. And up there, with all that painting on it, you want to grab one of the boomsticks from where the boomer was, chuck it up at one of those red barrels, and that will get 2 more transfer tanks. If it doesn't work, just chuck it at the grate underneath, because they're actually behind that, but there we go, you can see. Sorry, 1 more transfer tank number 3. So 2 more to go. Grab another boomstick, blow the door up there, watch for man traps again. Man traps are just all over this zone, and I think I walked into at least all of them. At least. Another fight through here, be careful, quite easy to die, but then as you come in on your right, there's a project part, Maggot farm part. Yep, that's number 2. Possibly number 3, I'm not sure. Insignia on the left, scrap 6 there, scrap 7 just up ahead there on the right, scrap 8 over to the left, transfer tank in there, so blow that with the fuel that's conveniently nearby. There, and that's going to be objectives 4 and 5, that might be 4 and 5. There's scrap number 9, there's Insignia number 3, jimmy that door open, and there's Insignia number 4. All done. Apart from, yeah, no, that was 2 transfer tanks, the last one. So that's it, Insignia, scrap, and project part. Sorry, I just cut the fanfare screen, that's why. Now, it looks like I want to be heading due north. I don't know why I'm faffing with the camera so much. Yep, there we are, due north, scavenging location. Are we really up to 12 already? Is that right? Am I looking at the right map here? A little bit of a fight in here, so deal with these dudes, loot the bodies. Scrap number 1 over on the left there. Car body part, I didn't get anything for that, but it's the Witcher Wild Hunt one, which there's the other scrap, which presumably I didn't, like basically the one you pick at the beginning of the game will still be in the location, but you'll get scrap when you uncover it rather than a new car frame. Does that make sense? Hopefully. Cleanup crew number 1. I recommend you get cleanup crew stuff as quickly as possible, generally speaking, too. Okay, final scavenging location, number 13. Because there's another challenge for getting 500 bits of scrap from cleanup crew, and once you've cleared out the regions, there won't be any patrols to kill, so you want the cleanup crew while there's still stuff to kill. That's my recommendation anyway. So hunt those down early. Then around here, scrap 1 and some food. Final scavenging location, not much going on. Over to Scarecrow number 3. Can't believe it's only number 3 already, but I guess there's only 5 on this map anyway. This one, I think, again, kind of wide in the open. I met the Convoy on the way, though, so decided to deal with them, and I'm going to let this play out a little bit, because I think I did a pretty good job. Once you get their armour off, you can always pull their wheels, so what you want to do is kind of grind and shoot Thunderpoon, if you have it your way, to get all their shields off. And then you can quick release, do a couple of harpoon hits with quick release to expose the fuel tanks on the back of that. Nice flip, I thought. Although obviously completely unintentional. I always forget to put armour on when I'm doing convoys as well, which is really foolish because then my car gets destroyed in about 3 seconds. But yeah, so tap the harpoon button twice to pull the fuel cover off those armoured convoy dudes. And then you can just use this shotgun a couple of times to blow up the fuel tanks, and that should stop it. Alternatively, you can just yank the wheel off the thing once you pulled the back off, and it'll stop dead. It was actually landed right on the cover there, but a goat head with a crash helmet is definitely worth the trouble. There we go. Doesn't look too bad at all. Goes beautifully with my paint job, right? Then actually back to the Scarecrow. This one I think is a strong one or a fortified one. We don't have any massive ones in this zone, so just make your harpoon upgrade a priority, but you should be fine. Down to Scarecrow number 4. I found a minefield. Sorry, yeah, we headed up to locate a minefield first, but then down to Scarecrow number 4. Here. There we are, and that one is a fortified one again. So ramming or harpoon as you see fit, but it's pretty easy to get a ram on it. To get your ram on. Then down to the sniper and the final Scarecrow before we wrap up the other camp, which is quite tricky. Sniper first, he was right there, so I figured I'd pick him off. And you can again get around to his little hut with a bit of trick drive. Not trick driving, what am I talking about? Just follow the road. But I didn't see the need. And this Scarecrow wide in the open too, so just spike it as you drive past. That's another fortified one, you can tell by the 3 scrap. Anyway, up to Scorched Sand, the final camp. This is another really tough one, I found. The fights were particularly tricky, so make sure you're tooled up before you take these on. You can remote get the sniper, the Molotov tower pretty easily. There's a fuel tank there, another one there, another Molotov tower. I think we tag a Warcrier as well. Maybe? Yep, there's the Warcry. Nothing else there of import, so make your way in. This happened in the last video and I didn't know why, but it's when you look at the stuff as you're driving in, it gives you this really cool long distance view that's all zoomed up. I kind of like that. One more Molotov tower there, so finish that off, and then you can yank down this fuel tower if you want. But there's actually a secret entrance. You'll see the yellow lines. Don't know why I got back in the car there, but the yellow lines there that you can sneak through. And the first scrap right inside as you get it, along with some ammo. Then through the door that you kick down for a pretty monster fight, so be careful. There's, yeah, I died, so just coming back. Trying to eliminate the boomer first, but I wanted to show this because I got the boomer and it took out one of the objectives. So there's a transfer tank in amongst that mess. Anyway, when you're done, eliminate the Warcrier. And then grab a boomstick. There's an insignia up there, so get that. And then another boomstick. We're going to be relying on boomsticks a lot on this map. There's an explodey door up here on the right, so explodorate that and head inside for a scrap there. So that's number 2. Not much else to do in there at the moment. Grab another boomstick and head up these steps for yet another explodey door with some red barrels, so make sure you don't get clipped by them. There's an insignia just around here, so shoot that. Nothing else in the poo room. Kick the door down, another big old fight, so be warned there. Some scrap just inside, number 3. Up this ladder, and out here, that's right, there's another scrap on the right there. I actually did this a little bit out of order because we want to go down here later, but head back into the room that we were just in with the boomstick. And around here to the right, you'll see a transfer tank there, next to some food, and from where the food is, chuck the boomstick at the transfer tank, and I think that's the only way to get that one. But that is the second one. Then head back into the main courtyard with a boomstick and up these stairs here for another explodey door. Head through there and around here for another fight. See how many of these guys you can get with sticks. I managed 3 before I think one of them hit me. And then finish them off. Transfer tank on the side there, that's number 3. Transfer tank around there, 2 of them, so chuck it at the red barrel to get both, or in fact either. I'll just do a chain reaction, that's 4 and 5. At this point I was just having fun with boomsticks, but look to the top right there, you see that insignia in there. I wanted to chuck one of these red barrels, and that actually causes a massive chain explosion that takes that insignia out. Anyway, head up into the shed in the middle of the courtyard, turn around from where we blew that insignia up, and there's another scrap and a history relic. Hey Vern, this is the last you'll see of the white ghost. Sure, dude. Then around the back here for transfer tank number 6. Sorry, Sorry, losing count here. The sun in my eyes. Super annoying. That's up where the insignia was that we just blew up. Slide down here, and there's some stairs actually up the back to an entire new section. There's a bridge you can kick down there, and a water supply just behind it. So fill up on water if you need it. Grab your boomstick, head through here, kill all these dudes. And again, another pretty insane fight. Once you've wrapped up the war cry, look over to the right, there's an insignia. We'll get that after the transfer tank. There's a fuel can there. What you have to do is light that and chuck it across, or get a boomstick, or just shoot the red barrel with your shotgun. But either way, you're probably going to be close enough to get clipped. Bring a boomstick back to get that insignia, or again, shotgun ammo will do the job. And then up here is your final scrap. Is it your final? No, sorry, number 6, I'm lying. And an explodey door there, so run back and get a boomstick, or the fuel that we just used to blow the transfer tank. And then head in there to get the final piece of scrap, which is there in a Jimmy box. Yay! So that's Scorched Sand all wrapped up, which leaves that zone pretty clear. There's the buzzard camp things, but that's a wasteland mission I'm going to do separately. We're just going to grab the Minefields upgraded Doodad's stronghold a little bit, Gutgash's stronghold. Here are the mines. Yeah, you know the drill by now. Drive there with the dog and buggy, debug them. You can drive over them if you like, it'll count, but the car will be destroyed and you'll have to pay to get it fixed or fast travel out of there. But you can do it for free on the last one, and just use the flare to get loose. But that, if you've been following along, should get you down to just about threat level 2. On the left, the previous region, Cadavanaugh, I still don't know how to pronounce that. And on the right, we're going to pretend that... Oh no, we're not going to pretend at all. There's Parched Moon. It's the next one. So we're just working anti-clockwise around the Gutgash Territory. Anyway, I will see you in the next video. Bye!